Face Mob Hype Magazine is going down.
Yeah.
Hello, Cool J, Necessary Exposure, Hype Magazine. Peace.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Doby, and today, this evening, first quarter, kicking it off right.
Right.
Hip-hop is in the house. Haas G from the legendary U.M.C's. What?
You know what time it is. You know what time it is, Jeff.
Oh,
you know what time it is. We here. We
Look,
here. We never went nowhere.
In the early 90s, these brothers won acclaim for the first single, Blue Cheese. Y'all remember,
Yep.
right? If you're a hip-hop head, you remember. If you was a Staten Island fan, you remember. And then the second joint that hit Billboard's #1 was a single, One to Grow On.
All day.
Kind of appropriate, wasn't it?
I mean, it was dope. You know, I get to meet Don Cornelius off of that record. I was, come on, man.
Yo, that's history. I know you got pictures.
Yeah.
Little documentation.
Pictures. We got a lot of pictures. Basically, a lot of the pictures is at my mama's house. So I don't know. Yeah. You know that style. Like, that's what we had to do, like, just to make sure our stuff was safe. It always stays at mama's crib. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got a couple of my plaques, a couple of my little, you know what I mean, interviews, pictures, whatever. But it was always at mom's crib. That's what it was.
Haas G, also known as the producer Fantom of the Beat, he's got a Billboard nomination, not a Grammy nomination. I'm tripping.
Yes.
And I'm like, I apologize. But y'all know what I mean.
Don't worry about it.
My heart, charge it to my heart, charge it to my head.
Two of them.
Yeah.
We got two.
36 of me, I'm tripping right now. You guys opened the door for Staten Island hip hop, and Fantom of the Beat, heat for the streets.
Woo, there you go.
You didn't think I was paying attention. You didn't think I was paying attention. I'm not gonna even
there you go.
I'm not gonna give you his government name. I'm gonna let him do that if you want to, but kicking the door open for Staten Island, which of course, you know, has some other iconic fellows who followed behind you that you and your team had a interesting connection to.
Yeah, Staten Island was a small space, you know what I mean? And everybody who was involved in doing those same things, they were all subject to running into each other all the time. It was real close-knit, you know what I mean? But, you know, I grew up out there. That's where I got my claim to fame. That's where I learned how to really, really strategize and be a part of this whole music game. You know what I mean? And it was just about, like, learning, being it. I just never thought that I was going to be the first one from Staten Island. You know? Nah, not at all. It was the Force MDs, you know what I'm saying? Those are my brothers. Those are my big brothers. Those are my, you know what I mean? And they came out, but, you know, they were really, really considered mainstream R&B, you know, that type of thing. But they were the Force MCs first, you know what I'm saying? So they are well known for, you know, doing the battles up in the Bronx, rapping, rhyming, and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know him from nothing but love is a house.
There you go. There you go.
That's the only thing I know.
Big brothers. Those are the big homies. Like,
I didn't know they was doing it like that though, as lyricists.
I mean, well, you got to think about it. Back then, you know, that was really the upper movement for music, for hip hop, for R&B. So they are one of the first on the cusp of the beginning. So you know how that goes. It's slow motion sometimes, you know what I mean? Everybody ain't going to catch it. But when you dig back into history, you'll realize, oh, wow, I remember that. I know that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, they set the bar and they kept it moving. And then we came after them. And then the other guys came after them, after us. And then, you know what I'm saying? So we kept it moving.
Man, I remember them white sweatshirts or the sweaters, leather sweaters.
With the big F's, the blue.
Yeah. I think I've done so many in recent, but I think I did a gentleman from Force MDs.
Okay.
And I think you might have set that up, or you manifested it somehow, some way. But I think I just did.
Oh yeah. I put you in touch with Stevie.
Yeah.
Stevie D. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was excited hearing about you, and I saw the same reaction from you. That shit was dope. Part of
Yeah,
it.
that was fly. I really enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed that. So look, being the first doesn't necessarily get you the most recognition, but having paved the way and continued to march forward, not only as artists, but as contributing to the fabric of music across the anybody
Whole
who
spectrum.
produces for Busta is a hero to me. You could pose Take It Off for Busta.
I appreciate you.
That
Yeah,
was
me and Busta. So you got to remember, for all you out there who don't really recognize or really aren't sure, I come from a group called U.M.C's in '91, right? So if I was out in '91 and Leaders of the New School was out in '91, at that time everybody was touring together. We was all doing shows. It was easy, you know.
Mhm.
We was banging out the arenas. We was banging out, whatever shows was going on. We was banging them out at that time. So we, camaraderie happened, friendship, cool, being cool, kicking it. You know what I mean? So by the time U.M.C's, had their final run with EMI, I still had to live. I still had to eat. I still had to do things. And then I realized I was a producer.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really realize I was a producer. You know what I mean? When we did the U.M.C's albums. But then I realized I'm a producer. So I could throw beats at other people other than just my group.
Because you did both albums, Fruits of Nature and Unleashing, right? So
Yep.
that was your production. You touched it.
Yeah.
So how
I
could
touched it real big then.
Yeah, I'm like, and it took you that long to recognize that you're a producer?
Yeah, because my mentor was RNS. So I had a producer ahead of me,
right,
that we ended up bringing into our fold. So I would take more direction from him, but then I would come back and throw in you know what I mean? The hot sauce.
Sauce.
And then, then I realized I'm a producer too. You know what I mean? But I had a mentor. So that's why I didn't really look at it like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm making these records, and I didn't realize it like that. I was just being his homie, under him, learning and doing it. But I could have considered myself, yeah, I'm a producer now because I know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I finally recognized that part. And then when U.M.C's, the group itself, we had a little situation with Wild Pitch, with EMI and all of that. And that was the demise of the album, the second album. It was all finishing. Everything was going to kaput. You know what I mean? And I still got to live. I still got to eat. What am I going to do? So, guess what? I can make beats for other than just my group. I can make beats and try to go sell them to other artists. Hence, this is how I'm going to reach out to the artists that we was on tour with. I'm going to reach out to LONS. I'm going to reach out to this one, to that one. I'm going to reach out to all the Woo. You know what I mean? I'm going to reach out to people that I know. You know what I'm saying? Who would definitely accept and have open arms and open doors for me.
Yeah, you wouldn't be a stranger. You was a brother.
Right.
That was bringing stuff to the table.
Right.
They were familiar with you, had already created with you. There was a camaraderie, a family structure, Staten Island,
Exactly.
Small, big city kind of situation.
Exactly.
So that was really cool. So you were there at the formation of the Staten Island. I don't want to say sound because everybody's different.
Renaissance. Come on. Come on,
Renaissance.
man. Come on, man.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
The Staten
And
Island Renaissance.
there it is. And so as you were watching, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go. Let's get this. Let's kill this elephant.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to this.
This is the
You
big elephant in the room.
Yeah, this is the big elephant in the room. So the U.M.Cs went to Chicago, toured Chess Records, and came away with some prizes. And someone in the group was ultra generous and provided someone their initial music library from the gifts that you brought back 1,200 miles. Holla at your boy.
Oh man, this is a good one. So for everybody listening and checking in, this is a jewel, and it's really a piece of history that needs to be heard, told, whatever. So, U.M.C's came out. I stated it in the record in Blue Cheese for the year of 1991.
Right.
So that's when we first came out. But U.M.C's wasn't U.M.C's that everybody knows. We were a different group at the time. We were down with different groups. We was down with different artists from Staten Island. You know what I mean? So, my beginning was at RNS's house where, you had Pop the Brown Hornet, you had Shaheem, you had KD, you had a whole bunch of different artists that was just running up to the crib and getting into the beats and getting into the music and dropping lyrics. So what ended up happening was by the time U.M.C's blew up and we traveled, we had to travel. We had to do promotional tours. We had to move around. You have to move from state to state. You have to go to the headquarters of the record label that you're dealing with, which was EMI. So we ended up at EMI in Cali, and we go in there and, we do our little dance and shuffle and kick it and chop it up with all the, the people who's handling your record, right?
Right.
You got to make them feel good.
Right.
So, upon leaving there, at the end of the day, they gave us all a gift. This gift was crazy. This gift was crazy because, I'm a producer. I'm listening to music. I love music. They gave us the whole Stax collection from Capital EMI, the Stax collection. So that collection, it was a big box that encompassed probably about probably about 20 CDs. 20 CDs of all Stax creations. And they gave one to me, they gave one to my partner, Lil Kim, and they gave one to, at the time, RNS, our producer, DJ. And we ran with that. We got back to Staten Island. So now here's where it comes in at. I'm like, okay, yo, this is dope. This is so dope. But R was really like, I don't think R took everything as serious as, you know what I mean? He just, is there, sure. So he let your man come through. Your man came through to the crib because this is where we all from.
Right.
All right. So your man comes through to the crib. And, that's when we know him as Rock King.
Okay.
That's the Mr. RZA.
Right.
And he made it to the crib, but there, it was still music being produced, everybody doing everything. But for some reason, by the time he left that crib, he had that Stax collection in his hand. And that was R's piece. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, when I found out, like, really? Don't forget, we all family, but, it's like everybody's doing something, but we wanted to hold that for us. But you know what? Whatever. it goes the way it goes. But if you check that whole album, and that's another thing, when we said Wu-Tang in our album before it even happened to the world.
Touch
That's
on
another,
that one real quick. Touch on that.
that was another one. Well, because Wu-Tang started in Stapleton.
Right, right.
It started with my fellow brothers, Bebo, Pop the Brown Hornet, Shaheem, RNS, Doc, you know what I mean, DJ. It started out there. Status. These are names that if you look up, you'll be like, whoa, wait a minute.
You talking
What?
about Shaheem Rugged?
Rugged Child, yeah.
Rugged Child? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
He was a spitter. Woo.
Well, you remember his first records.
I remember when he first popped off, I would see him, and then he had his little situation, and he was,
He disappeared like 2 or 3 times.
yeah. I don't want to, because I just enjoyed his stuff. He was the youngest cat with a record deal that I remember. What was he, like 13 or some joint? Something like that.
Yo, but he comes from us.
Uh-huh.
The producer of his record is RNS.
Wow.
RNS was with us, my producer.
Hip hop history.
And then he came back and he grabbed Shaheem and started producing his records.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it goes way deeper than that. Like, we had the group GP Woo, Pop the Brown Hornet. We had King Just out on Staten Island. Staten Island was doing incredible at one point. They were very much so.
That was leading the musical pack.
Yeah, we was different.
And helping to create the fabric of hip hop.
Yeah.
Y'all were some of the first strands in that cloth.
Definitely.
At least from that region. You know what I mean?
And that's what really counted. Because it was a different region.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They know Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan. They didn't know Staten Island like that.
Yo, it was such a thing. So you said Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang was you started on that, reach back and finish that one.
That was just about Wu-Tang. We see, you got a couple of projects out on the island. You got Stapleton, you got New Brighton, West Brighton, you got Park Hill. Stapleton and Park Hill was really, really closely knit. We're close to each other. It's just go up the hill and you over in Park Hill. Go down the hill, you in Stapleton. And so just being so close to each other, what happens in one area definitely leaks into the other area just that quick.
Mm-hmm.
The thing was, it all started in Stapleton. That whole Wu-Tang mention, that whole Wu-Tang idea, that whole Wu-Tang flow, you know what I mean? It all started in Stapleton first.
Mm-hmm.
But, everybody's innovative. Everybody has ideas. Everybody knows how to turn nothing into something. So that's how the whole Wu-Tang thing came about. You know what I mean? It was, look, this could be the gimmick. This could be the situation. This could be the idea right now. And it took somebody to see that. But there's a foundation from that. So it started one way and then it turned out to be something else.
You know what? Isn't it amazing how some things that you're just doing naturally because you love it and because you're part of a culture, how things will just spark off maybe from the weirdest fragment or instance and become a whole movement that overshadows a lot of what everybody else is doing in the whole state. Staten Island was the benchmark. Of course, you had the bridge and you got all that, right. But when Staten Island players really hit the scene and hit the airwaves, it was a wrap. It was
different. It was different. And that just goes to say that, you got to remember, Brooklyn, they fly. We know Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
We know Queens fly. Even Jersey was coming with some fly whatever moves. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we were New York and never really respected as being New York. Trust me when I tell you, because we're all from all the different boroughs moving to Staten Island. So we made Staten Island.
Oh.
You know what I mean? With all our whole different, reaches and arm's length and being over here and being from over there. And then you have some natives, you know what I mean, that knew the lay of the land. We rocked out with them and got busy. But Staten Island had their own thing. You know what I mean? And that's what made it so dope, because we're the forgotten borough. So they're looking at us like, when they count the boroughs, they don't count Staten Island like that. They be like, oh, I forgot Staten Island too. You know what I'm saying? Like, word? All right. But so now we're going to show and prove. And I think all of us collectively just started going, started digging in. We all started saying, yo, you know what? Nah, they're not going to, exclude us in this. Like, we part of this too. But we had the opportunity to just manifest everything on the island before we took it out to the city.
So you already polished when you took it to the city.
What?
You were ready. And it's like,
what?
But they weren't.
They didn't know what was gonna happen.
Uh,
We took it to the city.
right.
I didn't, I was from Brooklyn. I didn't stay on Staten Island every weekend. Every weekend I was gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Until I figured out how to play football and, you know what I mean, and stickball and hang out with the boys out there. Other than that, I was from Brooklyn coming back and forth, bringing whatever I could bring back and forth. And then, Staten Island figured it out. And they was already doing it when I got out there like this. Word. Oh, I get it now. I see what y'all doing. And this ain't even out there yet. No, it ain't ready yet. It's about to. All right, cool. Let's go. I'm down.
Yeah. You know what I thought was cool? Artists gave away that damn Stacks collection. And it wasn't, they did their thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
But did their thing. But a lot of the core still came back to rock with Phantom of the Beat, the producer. You know, I happen to love the music of Sadat X. I didn't know that you had touched that. I just found that out.
Yeah.
Raekwon, Inspector Deck, you know what I mean? The East Coast, those were some of the core lyricists. You know, the other ones were flashy. Meth, he's flashy, but like core, grimy, gritty, that big boy in the lunchroom that's coming to get your fucking cinnamon roll.
All day.
You know what I mean?
All day.
That was Ray. And
you know what that set? You know what set that off for me? That was, growing up at 212 Broad Street, Staten Island, and I'm on the third floor, but Ghost is on the first floor. I mean, in 218. So we already had the relationship.
Right.
We all grew up before he was known to the world as Ghostface, before I was known to the world as Haas G or Fan with the Beat. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that all started. So, how I go. When in Rome, do as the Romans. So if he took a joint from Fantom, Haas G, U.M.C's, hey, guess what? I think I should take one of those too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how it all started going. Before that, though, not even before, but during, I worked with Pop the Brown Hornet. Like, he's one of the ones that first set it off for Staten Island. We was listening to tapes, cassette tapes, in the boom box, on the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, and those tapes was moving around Staten Island crazy. So, those relationships were based on the fact that I grew up with everybody. We all grew up out there, and it was easy to connect. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter what you was doing at the point in time. It mattered about what can we do, what's going to be the next step that we do. And I was able and fortunate enough, by the grace of God, to just get a couple of records: Raekwon, Ghost, Inspector Deck's album, Capadonna, Dot X.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, you did that.
Yeah,
You
we've
did.
been working.
In,
We've
in
been working.
reflection, in reflection, what about that era for you was the most fun and interesting? Was it developing a sound or watching people receive the sound and the wave that you created when you crossed the bridge?
For me, it was realizing that I really was a producer.
Right? I can rock
I
with that.
didn't realize it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize it until, a few records in.
You became self-aware. Okay.
You could, I don't know how to put it,
You
yeah, you
became
produce a beat.
self-aware. Yeah.
Yeah, I said to myself, yo, you are a producer.
Mhm.
You know how to make these beats. You know how to make these records. You know how to get busy. Stop thinking less of, what you're about.
Mhm.
And I realized it. And that was the best part because now I woke up to, okay, yeah, I know how to do this. I know how to put this together. You know what I mean? I know how to listen. I know how to observe. I know how to understand and make it all happen. So just realizing I was a producer was like the best part of it all. And, even prior to that, we did the traveling, we moved around, we did tours, we did all of that stuff. You know what I mean? But when I finally realized that I was really a genuine producer, that was the best feeling in my life. Like, wow. So now I know where to take this.
And then you blasted off and produced a game changer for Ghostface, Apollo
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah.
Apollo Kids. I remember that joint.
Yeah.
I remember that
That was
joint.
a, that
I
was a
I,
type of
I believe it's in one of these boxes over here.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Probably.
You create. I don't. I don't be no, butthole. But I give credit, what I mean, to Jamila for teaching me the magazine game. I knew how to write and all that, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? But how magazines are supposed to go and doing the research and understanding the magazine game, this came, I learned this.
Right.
You studied under RNS, and then you weren't paying attention to yourself, and you put some bombs out there like, ooh, that they were lacing with lyrical missiles. These are spitters that we talk about, not just rappers. These are spitters.
Oh,
This
we got
yeah.
some new ones too.
Okay, okay. We're gonna get there, but we gotta take this slow and let it marinate. We're gonna get all the juice out
Yeah.
the meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not prepackaged bullshit. This is
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
real, pure, unadulterated freestyle hip hop
That's it.
conversation that we're having
Raw,
right now.
raw, 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 raw.
Yeah, I don't make music, but I love it. Hip hop for me hit me, early 80s. I was doing a juvenile bid at a boys industrial school, and cat from strangely enough, cat from Kansas City had had the only boombox in the whole cottage, right? Cherokee Cottage Boys Industrial School. Y'all look it up. Anyway, we was the rowdy rowdies. And so and then Rapper's Delight hit. I was like walking down the hallway of the cottage and it stopped me dead in my tracks. Never heard it
Nice.
or anything like
Nice.
that before.
Nice.
And I'm like physically was struck.
Nice. Nah,
What
that's the same way it hit
is
me.
this? Huh?
It hit me the same way. I was like,
Yeah.
I almost froze in my steps, like, what is this? It hit me the same way, my G.
Just smacked me like Tyson dipped and hit me with that left hook. I like stuck. Right. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was on
Yeah.
the radio, the
That was
radio
special.
station. It was radio. Yeah, it was KPRS
That was
103.3
special.
in Kansas City. And I'm like, okay, okay. Very special. Changed my life. You know, I still had a couple of more, you know,
I
couple,
still hear it in my head. Boo-doo-doom, 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 boo-doo-doom.
do, do, do,
Boo, boo,
do,
boo, boo.
do,
I'm like, yo,
yeah. Yeah. Oh my Lord. Yeah. Stop. Because you know, at the time, what we were still Isley Brother, you know, we were still
you was coming out of the R&B phase
yes,
because
yeah.
that's what hip hop wasn't there yet.
No.
But we still had
It was
Isaac
there in the
Hayes.
streets though. It was
No,
there
we
in
still
the
had
street.
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You still had Barry White,
Mm.
Curtis Mayfield.
Curtis Mayfield.
You still had records that was it
Funky.
was leading up to what hip hop was going to become in a second. So
I
we was
mhm.
there at the end, like feeling that. But once that came, come on, my G. Come on.
Yeah, then when y'all started flipping them samples, you know, how you know, I'll be a pusher. And then all of a sudden, there's somebody's rapping on that interpolation, and you're going, that's Curtis. Oh, that's
Yep.
George Duke. They used
Yep.
the Dookie stick. Oh,
Yep.
snap.
Like they flipped this.
Yeah, yeah. Fried my brain, bro. I'm like, wow.
That's artistic.
Very. So,
Very artistic.
what was the most difficult flip you did coming up?
Whew. On a beat, I did
Simple.
a
Hmm.
the most difficult. It was Magic Stick.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm.
that was the most difficult. Um, what's the original sample? Oh, it beats that way sometime. Joe Simon.
Okay. Okay.
Joe Simon, it beats that way sometime.
Mm.
So now, if you listen to the original Joe Simon sample, it don't move the way I made it move.
Hmm.
But you
Yeah,
know,
Magic Stick, 50 and Kim,
they killed that.
that killed that.
They killed that. That that's I'm here for legacy. You know what I'm saying?
Shit,
That's one of those that go down in history.
that you got a plaque for that one, right? Number 2 on Billboard it hit.
Yeah,
Topped out the number 2 on Billboard.
yeah, that's one that goes down in history
I, that was a game changer because that was swept from the east to the west.
all the way.
Yeah, we
Everywhere,
were
mid, east, west, south, north. It hit everywhere, and
yeah.
I was really really grateful for that. Um, but yeah, that was the toughest one because the way the original record goes and the way I chopped the sample, you know what I mean? That was a test to my uh expertise or my skill or whatever you want to call it. I
Mm.
had to figure that out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what's
It
fly?
wasn't easy.
You made a forever record, right? Talk to me about Now You See Me Too with
Oh,
Jesse Eisenberg and Morgan Freeman.
I
What up?
mean, this is what everybody got to understand. You make a hit record, or you a banging artist or producer, beats, songs, whatever. You have the right to pitch it for, you know, uh,
Sync.
publishing opportunities, syncing opportunities,
Mhm.
and get it in movies or get it in commercials or get it wherever you got to get it at. It might not just be you. You might have an administrator. Who knows? But whatever the case may be, that's the gift that is always going to keep giving.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
why you're not supposed to not uh, take safe charge of your publishing. You're supposed to keep your publishing. It's
Mhm.
yours.
Mhm.
That goes down. That's legacy. That you pass that down to kids. You pass that down to grandkids. You pass it down to the family. As long
Mhm.
as it's in your name, that company goes down to everybody, and they all get it. You know what I mean? So publishing, syncing, that's a gift that keeps giving. So that wasn't the only movie it was on, and it was in two movies. Now You See Me, Now You See Me 2,
Two.
right?
Yeah. Now You See Me Too.
And then it was the what was it? King, uh I forgot the movie. Anthony Anderson. He was in the movie. King's Ransom.
I didn't see the movie.
It was in King's Ransom.
I never liked Anthony Anderson as an actor.
Oh, well,
So if I saw a movie with him in it, I wasn't watching it.
you wouldn't even watch it.
No,
All right.
not even the trailer. I'd walk away from
Okay.
the commercial.
I ain't
I have a
messing.
greater appreciation for him now.
Why?
He evolved, and I evolved to be able to understand his presentation.
He only evolved because you see that little lineup that he got on his face, that little cut, that new cut that he got. That shit is bullshit.
I was trying to be nice, bro. Why you do me like that? Why you do me like
he
that?
went and got a new trim.
Yeah. But
And
his
said,
his
I'm
his
involved.
his presentation as an actor has evolved a bit. He has some nuances that make him palatable. I like him as a host though, when he does, the award shows. I think that's his niche. His niche.
Yeah.
Depending on what part of your country you're from. I believe that's where he belongs, on stage, introducing other people and doing small bits in between. But I think I
I
do.
ain't gonna mess around with you. I like him. That's all I can say. I just like him.
I like him too. I'm binge watching one of his sitcom on Netflix. So,
Okay.
I'm like I said, he's
You trying to
evolved.
figure it out, like
I've evolved
right.
because it's a family situation. And I think at one point my character in my life was as selfish as his character in that show.
Right.
As we go, fuck that. We're not talking about him.
I don't know, but we are. But that we got into
just because
I was waiting for you to say, yo.
this is natural evolution of a conversation. That's different. See, if it was just a Walter Cronkite style interview,
This don't work like that. Come on.
we would know where this is going. We might be talking about fishing in a minute. As it applies to reeling people into the fold of Phantom of the Beat, the producer.
Yeah.
I mean, he's that mega bass that we gotta have.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the Grammy nominee.
Oh man. It was one of them situations where you always dreamed about it. You always thought about it. You never knew it was going to be you that, got to that point. But you always kept moving forward to try to figure out to get to that point. So by the time I got that first 50 Cent and Lil Kim, we went to they invited me to LA to the Grammys and all that. And it was an experience that I never experienced before. Even though I traveled the world and did all of that as a U.M.C, as a producer, not a producer, as a rapper, and did shows, this and the third, it was nothing that could compare to the Grammy. Like, I walked in there and everything was just so surreal. It was like, like you seeing all these people that you don't regularly see until you see them on TV. And you're face to face with them. You know what I mean? So that feeling was good. And then the feeling of just knowing that, if the world was ever destroyed, by tomorrow and everything is concaved and messed up and crashed out and somebody made it to the library and they pulled out some sort of recordings or tapes of, this time, I'm etched in stone already.
Absolutely. So with
Part
that
of history.
With that point, though, from the inside looking out, now reflecting on the beginning, the alpha, to this, we're not at the omega. Obviously, we're not at the end. So here we are. You've achieved multiple benchmarks, and you're getting ready. You're launching. You're already working behind the scenes, launching new projects. But
Definitely.
as the creative, multifaceted creative, from the inside looking out, how do you see Haas G, Phantom of the Beat, now, today?
Basically, Phantom, let's go back to Haas, because that's where it started at, Hassan. Haas G. Grown, you know, family oriented, granddaughter, new, you know what I mean? Being positive about the moves that got to be made. So whether it's Haas G making the moves or if it's Phantom of the Beat making the moves, all the moves got to be, you know, precise
Right.
for the longevity of the family name, the, you know, business, the team, the crew, you know. So Phantom is Batman. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
Like,
there it is.
word. Like, okay, I'm Haas, you know me like this when I'm doing this, but when it's Phantom, you know what I mean? You hear that, dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? We get busy. Like, we take it to a different level, you know what I'm saying? And we get busy.
Mm.
So, and then that comes back to Haas. That comes back to Haas's family. That comes back to Haas's peers and friends. And you understand what I'm saying? So that's what we here to do right now. That's who I am. Like, I try to take care of business. I'm a creative to the fullest. I get busy, you
Mm.
know, and I got empathy and I got compassion, and that's Haas. He's the one who does all of that.
Ah, they he gets busy. He's got compassion, but he ain't playing.
There you go.
He ain't taking no prisoners on them tracks. Talk to me. You've got like so many projects going on. I don't know which ones are G16 classified and which ones you can really talk about, but I know that you got something pretty special that you were telling me off air that you were going to be pushing soon. Holla at me,
Yeah, definitely. So between me and you, that particular one, we can't even talk about it.
Roger
They
that.
they slapped me with the non-disclosure. They said,
Mm,
boom, don't talk about that yet. But
right.
it's gonna be a banger. But other than that, you know, I'm rocking out with Sony Orchard, Who Mag. We got our record label through there, Phantom Music. You know, and I put out a couple of records since then, since, you know, the last, I guess, 3, 4, 5 years, we've been
Mm,
putting out records. I got good alliances, I got good partners. I mentioned Pop the Brown Hornet at one point. Between Pop the Brown Hornet, my squad, Volt Music, you know, Catherine Swain.
mm,
I love to give her a shout out. Snooze Daily, you know, Remy, Renoir, and just a bunch of other records. I got some KC artists where you're from, you
mhm.
know what I mean? Um, we waiting to get ready to put out a new record from my homegirl, Haley.
Haley.
Yeah, yeah. You heard that name before?
I talked to her. A matter of fact, I got her on in the can as well.
There you
Yeah.
go.
She's
Um,
badass. And the joint, I'm not gonna talk about it because she hasn't put it out yet. I know that it's
let's get ready to come out.
ready to come out, and
Yeah,
you could talk about it because you have to make it. I can't
yeah.
just
Oh,
go out the
she's getting
water.
ready to spaz. She's getting ready to bang them in the head. Her first release is going to be for the February 14th for Valentine's.
And they call Sweetheart.
Oops. Hey,
I said
yeah,
I wasn't gonna say that, but
yeah.
I'm
That
excited
was a
about it.
lie.
No, bruh, the production on it, this young lady stepped up and delivered.
Well, she's dope. She's good.
Yeah,
She
but no, but she's not your normal Haas G level artist. You
well,
elevated
that's the
her
whole
game
point.
and made her reach inside herself. Difference between a beat maker and a producer, being able to connect with the artist, bring the best of the artist out of them, and say, look, you've got these nuances, free your mind,
Let's rock with that.
let's go with it. And you made it deliver. So, the process, and I said I wasn't gonna say it, you was being all, but anyway. So
Yeah, I was trying to be cool.
yeah. Uh, but it's coming in the fact that someone of your caliber is leading from the front. To whom much is given, much is required. And
Exactly.
giving these independent artists, like the ones in Kansas City, you got another group. that I wrote about first,
Mm-hmm.
uh, TNT,
Mm-hmm.
they're dope. You
Mm-hmm.
know, as with any young group, they need guidance.
Yeah.
And then especially coming from a city where there's not a lot of
Access.
access and management, you know what I mean? When they get an opportunity, they may not be mentally ready.
Yeah. Who's gonna make them ready?
They have to be willing. Kids,
You
y'all
could
gotta be
try. They got to be ready.
you gotta be ready to learn. They gotta be
Yeah.
ready to listen.
Yeah.
Babies raising babies, it's a generational, trust me.
Oh, that part.
You know, it started in the 70s.
That part.
It's more than just strong-headed creatives across the board.
Right.
I'm talking about state to state, city to city,
Right.
you know, family to family. Let's go take it out, take the music out, family to family.
It's all crossed.
It's always rebellion. You know, you've raised this young man or young lady, and there's an age where the switch hits and you no longer know diddly
Nothing.
what it
And you
is.
got all these expectations
You feel me?
that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you don't know nothing, but you're still living in my house.
It's all good.
I know how to provide for you. Obviously, I'm trying to teach you to provide for yourself. It's family to family. And then you have the creatives who,
And that's basically what this whole hip hop wasn't just hip hop. It was about that too. That's
yeah,
what hip hop was, to make sure that we coveted our peoples and take care of them and raise them the right way. That's what it really was intended for.
hmm
It was, you know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, now it's a little crappy.
yeah.
So
It was also
it changed a
informational.
little bit.
It was also informational. So
Very.
you were able to
That's what it was for.
tell the stories of what's going on in this borough, shit in that
Raising,
borough.
raising your your fellow
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. So I'm like, you know, and for you to be now patient enough to deal with the young artists, that's the leadership. You already kicked it off and put Staten Island on the maps, set it on the way, set the Staten Island mega yacht in
Mm.
motion.
Mm-hmm.
They can't take that away from you.
Can't. And like I was saying, when you're the first one in the trenches, and you're the first one up to bat or whatever, you got to take the blunt of what's going to come. So, we were the first ones.
Right.
So, we took all the lumps. We took a lot of the beating, the bruising, you know what I mean, until we figured out what to do. But anybody that came, after us, should have learned from our mistakes ourselves, for themselves. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Should have been
So
paying
that's what
attention.
made it even better and greater and easier for the next ones to come.
Right.
We was all talking, we was all conversating,
Yeah.
and I'll take the beating first. All right, y'all up? Y'all know what to do now? Yeah, go do it. Make it happen.
Here's something I dig though. You started in the East. Somebody gonna think I'm playing here, but masonically I'm not playing. Promise. But you started in the East,
Mm-hmm.
hit the Midwest,
Mm-hmm.
captured the West, the iconic West, with
Mm-hmm.
Miss, I could give it to you, put your back into it, Miss Toy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Oh,
I mean? And here you are across the nation right now, several decades into the game,
and getting ready to do the new.
helping once again to create benchmark moments in the fabric of hip hop.
I can't give this up, my G. This
Mm-hmm.
is like it's automatic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Miss Toy. We have a real great bond. We have a great story too, because back in the day when Miss Toy first was coming out, after she was with Cube, she was on Universal, You know, I was up there, I was shopping beats, we hooked up, we found the right record, we did the record, we named it Hand Clap. And what happened was the label itself just didn't want to play ball with us the right way.
Mm.
Was it. So, you know, they wanted a dope female, but they didn't want to do nothing for the dope female. So the record just, it subsided. It was put to the side, but it was a banging record. And I couldn't understand that. So I couldn't understand that myself with her. Like, yo, they doing us both like this? Nah, we gotta, you know what I mean? Let's figure it out. But luckily she ended up getting a release from her contract.
Good stuff.
Getting taken care of. You know what I'm saying? So she ain't walk away with,
Right.
a boot up her butt. You know what I'm saying? Right. She walked away and she was good and figured out how to, grow with the game and do what you got to do for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
You got a new one coming out with her, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's actually out now. It's called Balance.
Okay.
Toi. Actually, I'll probably be shooting some of the video footage out here in New York in the next couple of days. She's in Vegas. She's gonna be shooting hers. Everything is AI. Everything is social. Everything is whatever. We'll put the video together, make it look dope, make it look fly.
I gotta see this. I gotta see how the cohesiveness comes together with you being on the East Coast, because I've never seen a video served up digitally. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, send me that clip. We're gonna put that. I've never seen a video director do that. Music going through the,
through the system.
But the continuity of lighting, framework,
and
quality.
Well, you don't. You forgot? I'm stage. I do stage lighting.
Well, I'm trying to get
I'm
you
an electrician.
some stuff. I'm trying to
we're gonna make it right. We're gonna make it right.
Right. But electrician don't mean video editor. Who's on deck?
Oh no, I'm not video editor.
Okay.
But lighting, right?
But you just said digital, so you can't have it both ways. Either you're gonna be sending files from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth and doing the editing through the AI. That's what you said now. So
I'm just gonna make sure the lighting. I'm gonna make sure the lighting is copacetic.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what you end up doing is just seeing what shots they got going on first.
Okay. See, talk to me.
And then you put yourself into that same position over here now. Okay, so that's what the lighting looks like. That's what the mood is. That's what's going on. Okay, let's do the same reenactment over here now. You know what I mean? And then you take both of the pieces and you mesh them. You know what I'm saying? Technology came a long way, brother.
That's wild to me, to be able to do that color match, and you're in Vegas with palm trees and mountains in the back, and then you might be doing your piece in Brooklyn or Manhattan or something, but somehow the magic of so he's like one of the most, he didn't say it, he's like one of the most in freaking demand electricians and lighting people in the country. Coming up soon, big project with the Jazz Museum.
In
City.
Oh my God. You don't even know about, oh man, they don't know about that. You know about that. You springing it on me real quick.
Well, we here to talk. You fucking with Jerry Doby from the Hype magazine. I'm gonna get everything.
Woo.
If it's not private, if it's not, detrimental to anything, I'm gonna ask about it. If I can't
to go in with it.
If we can't talk about it, we don't. But I'm gonna get you your shine. That people need to know, not just music.
You don't understand. I so appreciate, because you know how many times we do interviews and some of them don't even really get the gist of what's going on. They just got a script that they go by, and they got to get that done, satisfied, answered, and then it's a wrap. You just pulling it out like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, all right, cool. So yeah, um, so it's like when I came out there and I met up with you, and we went to the what was that? The
It was the
Irish.
Irish Fest.
We went to an Irish spot. Like
Hey,
what
but
the
tell them we ate ramen noodles for dinner at the
yeah,
Irish joint.
basically. Basically. I didn't understand it. I just tried to roll with it.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
we was hungry. My glucose was low. I
Yeah.
needed something to eat. And
Yep.
they had
Yeah.
Mexican food. It's an Irish Fest. I
And
ain't
I
get
ain't
nothing
even want none
Irish.
of that because my shit was hurting. My stomach was already hurting because you know what I mean, that whole lactose shit.
Right.
We went and we fucked around with that shit. It was all good. But so when we met at the show, that was my beginning of feeling out the right people in Casey. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I'm out here for a little bit. I just need to feel the right people. You could go anywhere in the fucking United States and, you got a bunch of knuckleheads, bads, whatever, some goods, whatever.
Mhm.
I just wanted to feel like the right people. So we get out there, we hanging out, we doing the Irish Fest, we chop it up. Boom. Now I go to Tarantino, Gina, and she's introducing me to this one, to that one, to that one, to this one. And then the question was one more time.
We were talking about the museum, and you
Okay.
been like the in-demand lighting technician
Okay.
across the nation.
So we've been to mad shows out there, you and I both. Me, you, Gina. We went down by the water. We did wherever them shows was going on at. You was there, I was there. So Gina happens to know a lot of people out there. So Mr. 18th and Vine, James, invited us to that what was the Duele show. Were you there?
What did I do? I did Irish Fest. Then we did
You didn't go to the Duele show because you wasn't there because we was in VIP. You wasn't there.
no, I wasn't there. I
Yeah,
next time I came out was to the pool hall.
yeah, yeah. Wow, we banged them.
Fool with the thigh bone.
And listen,
Bruh.
I love pool, B. Yo, my G, I love pool. I can't help
Yeah,
it. Like, that's my
yeah,
if I ain't making a beat or sitting in the crib bullshitting, I'm playing pool, B.
that's
I
your
will find it.
okay.
So we ended up going to the Duele show.
Mm.
It's backstage. So Mr. 18th and Vine, that's James, that's Gina's people. Um, they were, introducing, bringing us up to a point, bringing us up to speed. We're back there hanging out with Dwele. We talking, we pitching music. And then James he runs the hip hop museum. I mean, the jazz museum. So
Rocky
he's
runs
running the jazz museum. It just became a matter of I'm an artist. Plus, I do stage lighting. Plus, I do electrical. I do all of that stuff. It's like it would be better for you to do the work here at the Jazz Museum, at the Gym Theater, rather,
Mhm.
to because you have that relationship, you have that understanding. You're an artist yourself. So you know what we're going to need electrically. You know what we're going to need lighting wise. You know what we're going to, you know what I mean? And that's how that came about. So it started making sense and we just started pushing the situation. And I think that's going to lead to a bigger situation because the Jazz Museum, the Negro League baseball, all of that stuff, all intertwined. But the mayor out there is ready to fucking blow up. I'm sorry, because they're looking at everybody else like, oh, y'all blowing up, but we are, you know what I mean? So we better put something behind this and we all better blow up too. And
Hey,
that's how it's been going.
they've got a lot of stuff, positive things going in that area. What is it? Google put a data center out there. I think it was Google, and so that's hot. It's moving, and
Gonna move.
It's gonna move. It's a resurgence. There's a renaissance going on in
It's
Kansas.
going to move, my G. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on. I'm not worried about none of this. It's going to move. It's just what part did you come in on? You know what I mean? Were you already prepared and ready for when it starts to, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
we already was doing it because we was already setting it all up all this time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All gonna move.
Mm.
I'm happy again. Hip hop is alive still.
Hip hop is definitely alive. What you worked and locked in with some heavyweights
Mm-hmm.
in the KC area,
Mm-hmm.
and things are developing. You know, from the governor, I understand that there's a music conference that's in the works as well that you're going to be a part of, along with Tarantino and
Yeah.
Bloom Effect, and then so you're touching all the aspects. So I know the presentation is going to be dope because it's going to be lit correctly, but
Yeah.
also having you in the house to deliver some real hip hop gems as part of that conference, because people, it's not all about the creation, and you also have the business side of the music business, right? So I have
Yeah.
to ask you that as you elevated and navigated this maze, to freaking Grammy nominations and whatnot, because I think you got two of those, right?
Two
Uh,
of those,
two of those, and like what, NAACP, or was
couple of good plaques,
yeah, a
couple of
couple of
great
good
plaques.
plaques. Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
You got
I contributed back to my community here and there. You know what I mean?
right,
We did some
right.
things. It's just a matter of I didn't even know I was doing all of that.
Mm,
You understand what I'm saying? I didn't know that's exactly what I was doing. I was doing all of that.
mm.
And once the accolades started coming, and I'm sure you could relate because you got some pretty big accolades.
Yeah, this ain't about me,
So
bro.
don't play with me.
This ain't about me, bro. It's about you. We just leave me out of it, and then
You like that one, right?
yeah, don't fuck with me, bro. It's my show. I'll cut it out anyway.
You got some
I'll
pretty
edit.
big accolades, but
Yeah.
I never knew those things was going to be coming. It just started coming, and I was doing things, and I was like, "Oh shoot, word! Oh word! Thank you." Being, very, very, thoughtful, very appreciative, and just letting it happen. So now, what do we do? Those were testaments to who you really, really are, and what your capability is, and what you can manifest and make happen. So do it in a grander, on a grander scheme. Do it better. Do more. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it right now. I just want to do more. I want to make sure that my people benefit. Like from they always say that it's generations. It takes generations to end up making the change. It might not be the first generation, might not be the second one, the third one it might start making it happen, and then it'll be the fourth generation that just completely changes it. I'm one of those generations in my family. Like, I'm here to change it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to do what I'm supposed to do, get it popping, and and hopefully pass down the torch to who the next generation is, so they'll be further steps ahead of where we started at.
Mm. You know, that's I was having discussions about that part, the passing down and educating and edifying and elevating the next generation, passing along the skill sets to ensure that people with our uniform will always have a place and a way. There's a difference between getting a job and having someone have helped you make a way.
Mm-hmm.
Because out of making a way, you create your own
Mm-hmm.
that is yours.
That's the missing part right there.
Yeah,
That's the part.
that's
Once you create your way, you already opened up doors for everything else to come behind that.
exactly. And that's the key. So, what you said is teaching them. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna, I tell my kid, I'm not leaving you shit.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to leave you is a way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
If you're a fake ass Christian, you're gonna lean on the fisherman of men
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna tell the whole story. Just go dig out that one little verse. I'm gonna make you a fisherman of men.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean to attack Christianity. I'm not really happy right now.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
I don't care. It's my show. I can say what I want to. And let them come after me. You don't want to mess with you don't want to mess with my pen. Uh, my pen is deadlier than any lyricist in hip hop ever.
I hear you. I'm not gonna. Hey,
And I
I'm not
don't rap.
combating it.
I'm rap.
I
But
ain't combating it. You come on, sir. I
uh,
know. I know the chair you sit in.
you heard me. So I want them to be able to fish. I want them to be able to feed themselves and their families.
Right.
And that's kind of, that's what you're setting up. And I love it, is that you're helping people have the ability to feed their families. The
Yeah.
legacy is not just the music, it's also the community citizen.
The setup. It's the setup. When you put things in motion and put the pieces together, and it has this thing functioning the right way and that thing functioning the right way, and we already know who to get in touch with and who to talk to, and it's the setup. That's your legacy. You were able to set this up in a way that everybody was able to maneuver and be independent of all the BS.
Mm, yeah, that's what it should be.
Yes,
That's what our previous warriors, Abernathy, King, what I mean? Go
I
ahead.
get it.
You feel me? You
I
feel
get it. Yeah, I
like,
get it. I'm one of those guys. Come on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Come on.
so I mentioned, the peaceful cats, right?
Yeah.
But we're not from the peaceful side.
Get a little radical.
A little radical with the pen. You have laid music beds that people have spit key,
Radical heat.
radical key information on.
Mm-hmm.
And you help lock it in. You that ziplock, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, on that peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
so the bread don't get stale.
That's right. You heard that, Mal? Peanut butter and jelly.
Uh,
I was talking to my homie.
I wasn't trying to play with that peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. No, that's not what I was thinking. I swear to
I
God.
know. Trust me, I know what you mean. That the peanut butter jelly sandwich is the epitome of all sandwiches. That's it.
That's
That's it.
that's
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
that's the one. For me, that's the one.
That's right.
The turkey's an alternative.
Yep. And turkey is next. Honey turkey.
Honey turkey, yeah, that'll work. Speaking of which, coming up, bro, different times. What was your wildest road meal? A go-to road meal when it wasn't all gravy.
Oh, all right. So it's always the what's that called? The Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak. Okay.
But they don't make the shit the same way in every state.
Agreed.
Some places be so fucking greasy and slimy that it messes up your stomach. You know
Mm,
what I mean? And then they put the cheese on it and all that, but it don't be right.
mm.
So, but my go-to is Philadelphia cheesesteak with curly fries or whatever.
Yeah.
But if they mess it up, now I'm messed up for like the next 2 days because they do the sandwich right.
Bro. My go-to being on the road when things ain't going that groovy.
McDonald's.
Fuck no. I die first, bro. I just gonna starve. Fuck that. Uh, hey, if they got a dollar store, Dollar Tree, whatever, with some ramen noodles, a cup of noodles, or
Oh, there
I
you
I
go.
eat them hoes dry, bro.
Robin,
That's
Robin,
all I had.
Robin.
Ramen noodle, but my go-to was really uh 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 cream cheese and nacho cheese Doritos with orange crush.
All right, nacho cheese Doritos.
Yeah,
I could look at my bag right there right now.
you feel me?
Yeah,
So
I got those.
Philadelphia cream
And an
cheese
orange crush. All
and
right.
an orange crush, and that was my survival, bro. I'm like, I could eat half a bag of this.
That was high school shit. That was
That was
that
grown man shit for me, bro. That was
oh
like,
for real at that time?
bro, I said it wasn't on groovy. And like I was on survival mode, been there, done that. Shit. I can go deep into
You
it.
know how to you know how to move.
I know how to maneuver. I know how to maneuver.
So
Uh,
dope.
what was the most fun
So dope.
when you came out to Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
started moving around and exploring the culture and the legacy of Kansas City? Everybody understands, the Harlem Renaissance brought New York and the East Coast itself, the whole Eastern Seaboard,
Mm-hmm.
came back on the black backs once again
True.
through the Harlem Renaissance. And now Kansas City, where you're getting ready to play a major role in the development of the entertainment culture or the elevation.
Yeah,
In the
no.
first state, it's the elevation.
Participating in the
Yeah.
advancement of the
Of
growth.
a market. They used to have the jazz clubs down there. Birdland Jazz Club used to be down there. I don't think it's
Mhm.
there anymore. Um, there are some things that need to be done. So the work that you're getting ready to pop off with the Jazz Museum and their performance venue,
This
it
is gonna be dope.
yeah.
This is going to be dope. This is where this is where I said the first lyric for U.M.C's.
Mm, wow.
This is it feels like that again. When I
Wow.
said the first lyrics for the first record that U.M.C's was about to do,
Mm,
feels like that again.
mm.
So now I'm getting involved on a different level. And I'm trying to make sure that I extend myself to the furthest, to the fullest, you know what I mean, and get it popping. It's
Mm.
like it's a brand new venture,
It's a whole new culture out here.
it's a whole new culture, but we still the vets, we still the pioneers. So
Yeah, yeah,
what
but
we're doing is about to share just what we know and
mm,
give it to them. And we'll be good. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's 20 out of 20 and you only got 10, 7, 8 that catches the word, that's going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time to, manifest what you're looking forward to. You just have to have a steady mind, a steady thought process, and let it manifest. But do your part. God helps those who helps themselves. Do your part.
yeah,
That's
bro. But just your mere presence here has the fucking city bubbling.
oh, please,
The
please.
city is the city is bubbling like, oh, buddy, look
My
what we
dude, I
got here.
watched it. I
Yeah.
watched it when I got out there
Mm-hmm.
between me and you.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what was going on before that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just got out there at the right time. You know what I mean?
You're much needed.
And I got out there at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I started watching everything going down. And then it's almost like throwing a battery in somebody's back. Now everybody is, moving hard. So, I'm grateful. I'm there, my G. I'm there. Come
I'm
on.
watching it. I'm
You get
I'm
it.
like I'm happy. I'm like because we have other media outlets out here, but they're not hype. And
No, 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 no.
just the kind of development story that really excites the writer's pen. The pen
Right.
lifts itself up off the desk and just does its thing.
Right.
You know what I mean, I know you've had like moments in your music career where that's happened to you, like just on the snap.
It only took 3 minutes. I wrote the song in 3 minutes. I'm finished.
Which one was that?
No, I'm just saying
Yeah, I
that's
feel
how
you.
it be moving that
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. You know, something just hits you and inspires you, and you go, ooh, I got to get it down right now. At least the scratch track or the
Yeah.
thought has to be documented. And
Foundation.
so I don't pop out often, right? I only pop out with certain people. So I get an opportunity to sit back and watch you moving through this market. And these cats is standing to attention. And they're motivated. They say, okay, the general, we got a general, a real proven general
Around.
that came from the land,
Right.
of
Right.
the culture,
Thank you. I appreciate you. I so appreciate you.
and bringing it here. Very important. You're a benchmark in the culture of hip hop. So bringing it from the motherland, the hip hop motherland, to the Midwest, where jazz had been the leader here, because not because it's lazy, but because Kansas City was one of those developments where everyone with our uniform came for safety. That bullshit they pulled in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is not
You
gonna happen in Kansas City. Feel
well,
me?
you gotta really research the history of Kansas City. There's a lot of Kansas City history.
A lot of kids.
So
Gangster.
that is the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's the place to be.
Look, even the old gangsters
Uh-huh.
used to come to Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
It was the heyday.
And then
Mm-hmm.
move around to Vegas
Mm-hmm.
or LA
Mm-hmm.
or come on. That
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
hub. That's
It
the
was the
hub.
hub. Kansas City was the hub. So a crazy story about the Kansas City airport. It divides between Kansas and Missouri, but it's still
Missouri.
Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
So Kansas was the free state. Missouri was a slave state.
Yeah.
So literally across the street, plantation. The other side was,
Yeah.
the general store, right?
Yeah.
There was used to be a red line down the walkway
That separates
that
the
separated
divider.
Missouri from Kansas.
Fuck
So
out.
one side of the airport, you in Kansas, you had to be 21 to drink. On the other side, you were 18 to drink in Missouri.
Crazy.
And culturally, crossing that red line in the airport was a different culture within one little space. So to see in the streets how it was a refuge, a haven for those that were maybe outside the system, and the speakeasies and the dives and the bootleggers, keeping during prohibition,
Yeah.
and jazz was what brought everybody
Together.
together.
It was jazz and alcohol. And come on, man.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
I gotta so we're gonna go to Royal Flush's SOBs.
Mm.
I gotta try to wrap up
All right. So
so I could get to the city. But I want you, whatever your greatest, if we left anything out, let me know. Let's do it.
no, I was going to ask you, and we were getting ready to close because I'm looking at it. We've been on here. I had you on here.
Yeah, we talking, we just homies right now, my
Yeah,
G.
yeah, we chilling. Um, you've been interviewed pretty much by everybody that cat, uncle, and dog throughout your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a question that we in the media have neglected?
To ask?
Yeah, that you've always wanted to answer. Yeah.
Wow, this was the perfect sum up. This was perfect. The one question that I really wanted uh somebody to really ask was, do you really believe that you are that producer that can make a difference, make a change, set the music off on fire, and stand out as one of the greatest? Next to Quincy, next to Marvin, next to Isaac Hayes. You like that, right?
I love that. I'll talk that talk, bro. Go for it.
Yeah, I believe that the path that I chose and what I do, the type of records I do, you know, it takes time for everybody to catch on. You know, they caught on to a lot of it, but to really, really catch on and say, boom, yes, this is a lane. This is right there next to, you know, he's part of the epitome. He's part of that. He could be that. You know what I mean? I hear about Dr. Dre. I hear about Primo. I hear about, you know, Knife Wonder. I hear about this one and that. And I'm like, wait a minute. Molly Moore, Godfather. We accept it. Don't. Phantom of the Beat. Heat for the Street. I make hits too. I make records that are monumental and that are heard and that has a staple in this game.
Yo, to the Hype Magazine, this is Play from Kid and Play.
This is Kid from Kid and Play.
Christopher Reed, Christopher Martin, Kid and Play.
Let's get hype.
Hype.
That's it.
The Hype Magazine live sessions. Haas G, aka Phantom of the Beat, bringing heat for the street. 2-time Grammy nominated. Biggest record that swept the nation. Magic Stick, 50. That was a game changer. And I used to run clubs in Los Angeles. And the dance floor was never empty.
Oh, not on that record.
Not ever on that record.
Remember I told you the sample, It Bees That Way Sometimes by Joe Simon.
Right. There it is. All right. We're going to let you go. Respect your time. Peace and love. See you soon. Until next time.
Real soon.
Live sessions. We ain't going to tell them all that.
My G, salute.
Salute. Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's up? This is Ice-T representing for Hype Magazine. Stop playing.
As an artist, we should reflect the time.
Why you so talented?
Because I'm black.
Why you so amazing?
Because I'm black.
It's really important that we build characters so that people understand their story matters.
2 Chainz and I both are just really into good food.
And when you know you are royalty, you will only aim in life to be royalty.
We're doing it right now.
I don't give a damn what they say about me. Yes, I called your ass out. I know I shouldn't be saying this kind of.
Shout out to Hype Magazine Network.
Shout out to the Hype Magazine Network.